Thank you so much for having me here today. As John said, I've been in the business for a very long time, and I'm at that point in my career where I feel an obligation to give back in some small way. So we all wake up every day and grind it out. What I've learned in my lifetime is that retail loan officers and wholesale people are really not that different. We both have to wake up every day and grind it out and create value. And I'm just thrilled to be here today. So the other thing that I will say before I get started, just an observation that I had, I get the pleasure of attending a lot of these events, a lot of these sales rallies. Matter of fact, I was just at one at the beginning of the week at the other part of town, and you guys are in the right place. This is done right. So congratulations to Mike Cordes and the team. The leadership team for the last couple days. I've had some incredible conversations, and that's really what we're here to talk about today. Is these conversations are what drive certainly our business in the non-QM space. But I'll share with you two. And these literally just came up today, so I hadn't planned on really talking about this. And they span the spectrum of originators. And this is one of the challenging things is when you do a talk like this to a big room, a lot of originators, everybody's in a different place in their career. Some of you are just getting started. Some of you have been doing this forever. Some of you do a lot of non-QM business. Some of you don't. Some of you are focused elsewhere. And so it's always challenging for somebody like me to do this because we're in different spots in our lives. And these two conversations that I had literally today to start the day and right as I was walking out to come in here, I started with a loan officer who said, I've been doing this for 40 years. 40 years as a loan officer. And you could just tell she was stressed. It's like, oh my, it's so hard. Every single loan is hard. It's a challenge. And you could just sense it. And so I asked her, I said, why do you do it? Why have you spent 40 years of your life doing this if it's so hard? And she said, because I love it. And it's true. We love it. We love the stress and the anxiety and the month end. We start every month over again. But she also said, I get this opportunity that I never would have had in my life to be the hero for my customers. To be the hero for my customers. And we talk about that all the time in the non-QM space. These loans are very different. These are a lot of times borrowers that can't get agency loans and they've been turned down by banks and other people, and they come to you and you look at that application, you say, I think I can help. I think I can help. And all of a sudden you have the house and it becomes this dream come true. And so that was literally this morning, the first conversation I had when I walked into the expo hall back there. And then the last one that I had was a loan officer by the name of Christy. I don't know if Christy's here or not. She has closed 3 loans. 3 loans, like her life. Like she's only closed 3. She just started, and she chose Nexa. She had people tell her, don't. Like go to a bank, get trained. Like go find some other company that's going to spend the time and the money to train you up. And so I said, well, tell me, like, how's it been? She said, it's unreal. Like, tell me about your first deal. So her first deal was a couple, late 60s, early 70s, never owned a home in their life. Never owned a home in their life. And she said, I found a solution for them that allowed them the opportunity to own a piece of the American dream. That's what we're here for. Like we're going to talk this last couple days has been about AI and influence, and that AI is certainly starting to creep into the mortgage business. But the reason that I love the business is because we get this opportunity to give people a piece of the American dream. And we can't forget it. Every time I wake up and I have one of those days that first loan officer was talking about, I remind myself of that this is what we're here for. And I'm reminded day in and day out. But things are changing. We are living right now in the middle of an AI revolution. You may not realize it, but we are. It's happening right in front of us. And it's happening mostly outside of the business. Okay? There's a lot of things going on outside of the business. There's trillions of dollars getting invested in AI, large language models, that are going to change the way the business is run. And I think that's important to acknowledge. Like it's a reality for us that we have to deal with today. Because if you don't start planning today, this is happening quickly. Like you go back like into the 1800s and the Industrial Revolution, that took a long time to develop. Speed up to the 1990s and you have the digital revolution happening. That was happening pretty quickly. It's still impacting our lives today, what the companies that were formed back then. AI is happening faster than anything, okay? But it hasn't really invaded the mortgage business yet. It really hasn't. It's going to, though. We're working right now. Matter of fact, I was just on a call earlier today with a company that's working on a large language model where they're basically going to take our guidelines and you'll be able to go into our bot and you're going to, hey, will NewFi do this? And it'll answer your question. That's super basic. We have AEs that can do that faster. They know it. But that's where we're starting. But I'm telling you, we're going to get to the place where certainly companies are going to become more efficient in how they do business and how we close loans. We will be more efficient. This process will happen faster. But the real impact for you, I believe, is on that basic borrower. You have a salaried borrower. They're trying to do purchase financing. If you don't think AI is going to figure out a way to say yes to that borrower faster tomorrow than it does today, you're wrong. It's going to happen. There's companies today that are doing some HELOC business and they're closing loans in days. And they're using a lot of AI to get that done. So I believe that your job as a loan officer is going to change. It's going to get harder. So you have to make that change. You have to make that investment today in order to keep up with what's happening. But on the other side of that, this business is all about emotion. The one thing that AI cannot do, and I don't believe ever will do, is it can't feel. It can't feel. So when Christy closed her first transaction, she will live with the joy of that transaction forever. Like she will always take that with her. But so will the couple that she provided that financing for. She went on to tell me that this couple, it was an older couple, the husband passed away not long after they bought the house. The wife never would have qualified. Fortunately, she's able to still make the payments, and she's going to keep the house, and that borrower will remember Christy forever. Okay? Every time she makes a mortgage payment, sometimes it feels painful and hard. I think she will have joy in remembering Christy. So we cannot forget this. And all of the emotion comes in the conversation. So I'll share with you one other story that I had about a month ago. It was a loan officer at another expo up in Northern California. And I go to these expos all the time, say, how's your business? And most of the time, loan officers say to me, that's kind of the answer. It could be better. And that's normal. It's the hardest time ever to originate loans, I think. I'm in my almost 40 years in the mortgage business. I think it's the hardest time ever to originate loans. So that's a response I typically get. I had a loan officer come up to me and say, how's your business? He said, great. Like it was a completely different response. It was great. And I said, well, tell me about it. Like, why is it great? I said, that's not a common experience for me. I get all these other loan officers that say, what's different with you? And you know what he said? He said, I pick up my phone and I have real conversations. That's it. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Picking up your phone and having real conversations. I was sharing with somebody in the expo, we were talking about how wholesale account executive, the bar for a good wholesale account executive is like just above breathing. Like I mean, literally, like you ask people, like loan officers today, what's a good wholesale account executive? I mean, if they pick up their phone, that'd be nice. And like that can't be the bar. It can't be the bar for you. If you're going to succeed at a high level in this business, you have to figure out a way to do the basics and then exceed beyond that, exceed that average. So as a platinum sponsor for this sales rally, NewFi, I'm just thrilled to be here. I promise not to do an ad on NewFi, but I do want to share a couple things with you, just as a way to give you a sense of who we are. We spend a lot of time and by the way, I'm going to do a little experiment. I don't usually do this. I'm taking a little bit of a risk, especially as a 59-year-old man today. I'm going to use ChatGPT to answer some of these questions, and I hope it works. So bear with me. If I can do it, trust me, you can do it too. Okay, so instead of reading this slide, we are one of the largest non-QM lenders in the country, and obviously that's a good thing for us. We're owned by one of the largest private equity firms in the world, so it gives us the opportunity to say yes to more borrowers. We do all your standard non-QM products, DSCR, bank statement loans, jumbo, second liens, all sorts of things. But what's more important to me, and what should be more meaningful to you, is what your peers are saying about us. Okay, so we do an NPS score. We look at it on a regular basis. It's tracking our performance and how you feel about how we're doing. So every loan we close, we send out a survey, and we get these back. And here, this is just from the first 3 days of this week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I'm just gonna. And our NPS score, by the way, is 82.8 in September. For those of you who don't know, 82.8 is world class, and I'll verify that with the Grok in just a second. So here's some of the responses. Honestly, it was a raving experience, and I will share with our team and refer LOs to work with NewFi. Carrie was extremely helpful and always answers my calls whenever I have a scenario. Amazing experience with the entire team. This was our first loan and NewFi. And with NewFi, and the experience was great. Everyone was so helpful. Always amazing. First completed loan, and everything was very easy. The team did an absolutely amazing job from start to finish. Their professionalism, attention to detail, and quality of work exceeded my expectations. Jim B., as usual, the best AE that I have, that I work with, and every time I get a loan that meets your wheelhouse, I'm sending it to you because of him. All of these loans that we got started with a conversation. Started with you calling the RAE and saying, hey, I have a borrower. Can I help solve this problem? And then we dig in. But I promised some ChatGPT. Let's see if this works. Okay, we tried it earlier and it did. Hey Grok, I'm here at the Nexa Lending Sales Rally with a couple hundred Nexa loan officers. I'm hoping you can explain what an 82.8 NPS score means relative to the rest of the mortgage business. Can you help?
An 82.8 NPS, that's a mortgage promoter score, right? Way above industry average, which hovers like 45 to 55 for most lenders. Means your clients aren't just happy, they're yelling about you to their friends, which Nexa clearly nails with fast closings and low rates. Compared to the pack, you're elite, top 5% territory. If you're pitching this today, say it straight. 82.8 isn't a grade. It's proof we're the ones brokers actually trust. Want a quick way to tie it to commissions or something?
No, that's good for now. I'll come back to you. Thanks.
Cool. I'll be here.
See? Look at that. So you don't have to trust me. You don't have to trust your peers, but you can trust Grok, okay? I'm just telling you. So we're pretty proud of that. It's the reason I bring it up. I told you I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about NewFi. I want really all we exist to help you close more loans, okay? But a couple things that I want to get to. So first of all, the non-QM market. This is what we specialize in. This is our business. And if you look at the growth of the non-QM market, it's exponential, okay? So it's one of the reasons that we love the business is because this is the growth industry. This is where the business is growing. If you take out Nexa's exceeding average by a lot here. If you look at your business over the last couple years, you're growing. But if you look at the agency business, it's flat. The conventional business is flat, maybe up about 10%. Okay? Well, look at the expected growth of non-QM from 2024 to 2025. We think that this is the first time we'll get over 100 billion of non-QM closings, and we think it'll be probably closer to 125 billion. So there's a lot of reasons that this growth has happened, okay? And I'm not going to go through this entire slide because there's a lot here, and honestly, I could spend the next 4 minutes, which I'm going to run out of time anyway. I talk too much. But really, the most important pieces of this is self-employed businesses are growing like crazy. And if we run into a jobs recession like people are talking about, more self-employed jobs are going to get created. Just look at what happened during COVID. Massive growth, okay? But really, for you guys, the bottom line is, if $125 billion gets closed, the commissionable income for that volume is $250 million. What portion of the $250 million are you going to grab? Because your competitors are doing this volume. If you're not doing it, you're losing borrowers, you're losing influence to other people. Okay, like we do business with a lot of loan officers, a lot of companies. This is happening. This is right in front of you. This number is going to grow in 2026. So you want to pay attention here because it's growing. And so this time is like gone by so fast. I got 3 minutes left. This is your typical sales funnel, okay? If I'm right and AI becomes what I think it's going to become, you have to stop chasing transactions and start developing relationships. Not just with your borrowers, but with referral sources. We often forget that if you can expand the top of the funnel, it distributes, it multiplies for you. So one borrower, you close one borrower, yes. Can you get a referral from that borrower? Yes. But if you close a loan for that borrower and you go to their CPA and their CPA has 20 clients like that borrower, you have a bigger opportunity. So I think we need to stop spending time at the bottom of the funnel where everybody is focused. It's on the numbers. What did I close this month? What's my DTI? What's my LTV? The mortgage business is numbers and emotion. And I feel like we spend way too much time at the bottom of the funnel and not enough time at the top in order to multiply and expand our business. You have to go out and create more of these referral partners. Sorry, she's still talking to me. So you have to gain this influence. So I'm gonna do a couple more things in the last couple of minutes. See if I can get her to work again. Here we go.
Back. Let's finish strong.
Hey.
2 things you can hit them.
Yeah, real quick. If I'm a loan officer at Nexa, how can I expand my non-QM referral partnerships?
Easy. 1, use your 82.8 MPS as a calling card. Walk into CPAs, realtors who love investors, even divorce attorneys. Hand them a one-sheeter, close in 14 days, no tax returns needed. Watch them light up. 2, trade value first. Send their clients a free non-QM pre-qual bot link. Ask me for wording. 3, monthly wine and tacos night. 4 tops only. You, CPA, realtor.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So again, she'd go on. Like, I just go on. Like, that's how good. Like, but see, this is how easy it is to use this technology. It really is. It's not that hard. They will give you the answers if you want them. It's right there in front of you, and most of the time, it's right. And so I think you kind of get the point. I've got about a minute left. I said I'm not going to spend a lot of time on programs, and I'm not, because you guys will forget it by the time you finish your party tonight. But these are just some of the referral sources that you can use to expand your business. It's a very, very short list. It's a very, very short list. You need to be placing yourself in the same places that these borrowers are at. So self-employed borrowers, they usually use CPAs. to do their tax returns because it's a little bit more complicated, okay? The banks and credit unions, they don't do non-agency loans. A lot of times they walk away from these borrowers. Place yourselves into those banks. Walk in there and tell them you can do it. Financial planners, I could go on and on, but I'm going to leave you with this. Because of our partnership, because of the partnership between Nexa and NewFi, we just launched a new affinity program, and Nexa is in the top tier of our affinity program. And we appreciate that. We appreciate the business that you've given to us so far. One of the benefits that I'm excited to announce today that you guys get from now until the end of the year, this last quarter, is a 50 basis point price incentive on top of our already really good pricing. So that is our way of saying thank you to you. I appreciate it. You may not hear this from the rest of the speakers, but I love you. I do. I love you. I love you for what you do. You wake up every day and you grind it out, and I'm here to grind it out with you. So thank you very much. Appreciate your time today.